Isaac, it's me. I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything. I wish I could just talk to someone. It's all falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening. It's strange. Such a little thing.
How many times you watched that thing? Guess you really miss her. Don't worry, we're almost there. You'll be able to look her up once we're on board. Sounds like you do have a lot of catching up to do.
All right, everyone, we're here. Sinking our orbit now.
All this trouble over that chunk of rock.
Deep space mining is a lucrative business, Miss Daniels. Aegis 7 is a gold mine according to prospectors' reports. Cobalt, silicon, osmium. Now, where is she? There she is. We have visual contact.
So that's Ishimura. Impressive.
The USG Ishimura. Biggest planet cracker in her class. And it looks like they already popped the cork.
Why is it all dark? I don't see any running lights.
Corporal, take us in closer and hail them. And stay clear of that debris field. We're here to fix their ship, not the other way around.
USG Ishimura, this is the emergency maintenance team of the USG Kellion responding to your distress call. Come in, Ishimura.
You're gonna need to boost the signal if it power's low.
Yes, we know. Boost the signal. More.
Never heard of a total communications blackout on one of these things. You'd think with 1,000 people on board, someone would pick up the phone.
What is that?
It's a busted array like we thought. Sounds like they're having problems with their encoder.
Hello, and welcome to 60 Second Gamer. What are you two doing?
I've got cream on myself.
I'm just bursting into my intro and you tarnish it with your outrageous behaviour.
With our juvenile antics.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I'm quitting now. That's it. No, I'm
We
not.
can remodel it in our own way. Welcome to 60-minute gamer.
Well, we spend an hour meandering around the subject until we actually get on topic. And then don't really talk about it and let Ant rant about it for weeks on end.
Oh dear.
See, this is worse for me because I can hear Ant giggling away in real life, and then a half a fraction later, I can hear it again in my headphones. So, yeah.
Oh, God's sake.
We're a minute in. We haven't even started.
I'm recovered, I'm fine.
Oh, catch up in
I'm the one who
It
got
takes him
cream
about
on.
a week. Yeah. Okay. So, welcome to 60 Second Gamer.
Again.
Yeah, I'll start again. It's the easiest thing. Shall I do the music again? Do you
No,
think?
I think we've established where we are with it.
So yeah, welcome to 60 Second Gamer. Today we're talking about Dead Space, the original game, and yes, discuss.
It's scary.
It scares the shit out of me.
It's a very scary game. I thought actually I played a lot further into it. I'm
Yeah.
only on like chapter 3.
Yeah, there's about 12 chapters or so.
Yeah, I thought I was on about chapter 6, but obviously not. So it's a good game. It's one of it was an experiment by EA to basically release a brand new IP, and they did it along with Mirror's. You're obscuring the mic from me.
Sorry, I was starting something.
It
in my
was
back.
also out about the same time or same year as Mirror's Edge, which are two. Is this going to carry on for the whole podcast?
I think it may well do.
Just you eating custard creams and laughing at it.
I don't know what's happened. I've got the giggles all of a sudden.
Yeah. Anyway, Dead Space.
Oh, it's very,
Scary game.
very, 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 very good. Very clever towards the end as well.
Very cinematic.
Yes.
I also like the shooting mechanic where you have to dismember enemies rather than
Yeah,
shoot their head off.
that was
Yes.
very interesting.
Makes it very novel.
Because I ignored that the first time I started playing it. I ignored that completely, just trying to blast them in the face as you do. And then I sort of read the instructions in more detail, or properly, as most people would put it. I was like, oh, that's what you do. So I didn't exactly pay much attention to it firsthand, but then once I got used to the fact that you have to dismember them, which in itself is a fine game mechanic, but when they're dashing at you like like the clappers, and you're like,
Does get a bit
your first
panicky.
instinct is just to shoot them in the head, isn't it, or in the chest? One of the areas, bang, they're going down.
Yes.
So the story sees you as Isaac Clarke on a mission to
USG Ishimura.
Ishimura. The name was in my head, and I was like, no, that's wrong. No, it is the Ishimura.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Or
No,
if you're
no.
American, Ishimura.
Ishimura, yeah.
What?
So they
Yeah,
go
maybe the-
they go to this ship, which is a planet cracker.
I beg your pardon.
It's a planet cracker,
Yes.
and
It
basically,
decorks.
and
For want of a better term.
and the ship has gone dark, or gone silent, hasn't it? And they're sent to investigate, and
It turns out it's all gone
it's all
tits
gone to
up.
pot.
I've got
One
a sore throat now.
And so you take Isaac Clarke, the silent lead character of the excursion. Well, he's not the lead character of the excursion, but he's the playable
He's
character.
the main
Yeah.
and protagonist.
the protagonist,
yeah.
And he's got to explore the ship.
But he's by no means a soldier.
No,
He's a mechanic.
he is.
Is he?
As you've said. Yeah, he's sent there to re-establish communications and stuff,
Oh, I didn't know that.
and to fix the ship.
And that's why he's got the plasma cutter, which is technically a mechanic's tool, isn't it?
Yeah,
But I mean, he just picks that up and uses it as a weapon. It's an interesting tool.
it's probably your most useful gun in the entire game.
I like the fact that with that gun you can switch it between horizontal and vertical. With the
Yeah,
aiming as
that
well.
came in handy quite a
That
bit.
is very useful for dismembering legs and arms, and
Yes,
occasionally heads.
Other such limbs, but don't shoot the big fat ones in the belly, because that usually results in you being swarmed with little shits.
Yeah.
That
I dubbed those big ones the mommy.
yeah,
Don't anger the mommy.
no,
Telekinesis them. What I also like is the stasis ability.
Yes.
Where you can slow people
It's lots.
down.
Oh, I'm throwing things around. It's lots.
It's used as a gameplay mechanic to solve some puzzles as well, which I think
Yeah.
is quite.
it works
Yeah,
right
and you've got
well.
the zero G element as well. It's lots of unique sort of gameplay mechanics that all come together quite nicely, and they'll fit nicely. The presentation is very slick, graphics wise, and also the various gameplay mechanics. I nearly soiled myself when I first went to zero G, and I turned around and a necromorph was right behind me. It just appeared, because normally you hear them coming, and obviously zero G.
Well, one in the vacuum.
In the vacuum of space, and yeah, I just turned round. I didn't, I was quite close up because you pull a switch and you turn around and the necromorph's there, and I nearly had an accident.
I nearly had a lot of them. I had to have several pairs of undies on standby just in case, and I have no spare underwear left. I've soiled all of them. And there's only so many
For
times.
shame.
There's only so many times you can turn a pair of underpants inside out before you start realising you've done it too many times.
That's
So,
disgusting,
but
especially
yes,
if you're soiling them every
yeah,
time.
that's what I mean. Yes, but
I no longer again want to eat my cream.
It's a
but-
recurring theme.
yes,
isn't
it is.
Yeah.
Yes, but it was. It scared the living bejesus out of me. But there again, it doesn't take much to scare the shit out of me. The slightest little thing can make me poo myself quite easily. But this game well and truly did it. Especially when you go around a corner and don't pan the camera until the last minute and go,
And
"Ah!"
just one there waiting for
They're
you.
going, "Ah, yeah." But,
What I also like about it is the fact that they're not cliched enemies. So like
No.
they mix themselves in amongst the dead, and you're not sure when you come to a pile of bodies who's actually alive.
and who's
Just
actually
shoot
dead.
into it.
Yeah.
It's worth wasting a bullet.
The one that
The,
always...
And they come out they don't
They come out of grates and stuff as well.
yeah
don't
they're not pre-programmed to come out the same. I don't think they are.
I
They might
know.
very well be.
Well, it doesn't look like it. They hide it very well if they are.
Well, they don't spawn out of nowhere. They actually come through the vents and out of places that you don't expect enemies to come from. Because you think, oh, I'll hide in the stick in the corner of a wall, only to be dropped upon from above by a bastard.
And I got
knave.
yes, I got very paranoid of going in lifts as well.
Yeah.
Because they tend to go, hey, small enclosed space, have 4 of them.
Yeah.
I think they lure you in a few times by I think it's about halfway through. You think, oh, lifts are a safe haven, and then suddenly you're on this like a cargo lift, so it's not enclosed, and 4 or 5 suddenly drop down on you,
Yeah.
I remember that.
and you're like, oh bollocks.
Oh shit, here we go.
Again.
Yes, it was.
Another gameplay mechanic, we didn't mention this, was the the fact that the menu and all the like the maps and everything, it's all in game. You can't actually pause it. You can pause the game,
Yeah.
but if you want to take some time to look at a map,
you have to make sure there's no enemies about.
Yeah, you can't do it sort of willy nilly. You've got to be relatively secure in your knowledge that there aren't any necromorphs lurking.
Yeah.
Which I like because it adds to a sense of realism then as well.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't be able to go, hang on, I want to check my map. Fuck off for a minute, I'll tell you when I'm done.
Yeah,
And, okay, I'm
it
done.
adds
Come on
to
then.
the urgency of the situation.
Yeah.
as well.
It's like that was one thing I liked about going off topic, Resident Evil Outbreak. Although
Yeah.
it was a shit game, I liked the fact that the menu was in game. And you'd have a zombie coming at you like about
Very,
inches
very
from you,
slowly.
and you'd have to quickly change your weapon.
Oh, yeah, same with
I don't know, what's it?
Resi 5,
Yeah.
Oh yes, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
floating inventory screen.
Yes. But
Seems to be a thing that they've taken on.
yeah.
Again, it's one of those unique, well, semi-unique gameplay mechanics that they introduced, and it works rather nicely. Other aspects of the game is well, I only speak from the PS3 version because that's all I've got. But pressing the R3, the right analog stick,
objective.
to show
Yeah.
what route you've got,
Yeah.
and also the ability to build plasma cutters and stuff on the workbenches.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can do that on the Xbox one.
Yeah, I know you can do that on the Xbox. I'm saying just.
Oh. I was
I'm,
just,
saying it's,
okay.
I'm not saying it's specific to PS3.
I wasn't.
The specific to PS3 is pressing R3. I think it might be like the right
It's the
stick,
right
on,
stick,
on the
yeah.
Xbox as
I
well.
wasn't sure what you were shooting at, so I just gave you a
A
target.
necromorph.
Oh,
That's what I
okay.
was shooting at.
Quite
Desperately
rapidly.
in the face.
One thing I will say as well, which I wasn't expecting this at all from it, was the score was surprisingly bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
It was while I'm chatting, I shall look through my iPad and find it, so I can tell you who did it. But it was. I was expecting it to be just sort of like, I was a bit stereotypical towards it at first, thinking, oh, it's just going to be like a typical horror score, and it's just going to be screeching violins all the time. But then again, I said that about BioShock, and the score to that was actually quite melodic. And it turns out that you have quite a few very solemn pieces of music, and it was done by Jason Graves. Done the music to it. And it's like the theme itself for Dead Space is actually quite melodic, and it's very well orchestrated as well, which adds to it as well. Like you've got a lot of flourishing horns and things like that underneath, quite melodic violins. There you go.
Yeah, that's very nice.
And it adds to the fact that when you're walking down a corridor and something pops out, the orchestra can be twice as powerful than a
Yeah.
synth orchestra, because it goes, and you go, oh Christ. And that actually scared me more than the Necromorph sometimes.
Yeah. I think what the developers of Dead Space have done is they've learned very well from the best things that horror movies do, and they've sort of twisted it in a few places to suit their game, but at the same time they understand how horror movies should work, and what combinations like music, sound effects, impending doom do to you, and that sort of thing.
I mean, it's like the composer as well didn't use, because most horror stuff do, he didn't use any synthesizers at all, like ambient noises.
Yeah.
Any ambient noise was done by the orchestra. So like say, even if you just played a violin very strangely, it still worked, and it was just a tremolo violin.
Yep.
Throughout one little section, it was like, oh shit, the bed. And like the action pieces are equally as good as well. There was no electronics in it at all. Surprising, it was a sci-fi game, and it still worked very well.
Well, what's nice about it as well is it's one of the last batch of games really that didn't have a multiplayer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've got to say, I haven't played the multiplayer on Dead Space 2, but from what I've gathered about reviews for it, not only does it feel extremely tacked on, it also... This is going back to Dead Space, this is discussed in the future. But it also... it's better to be a group of engineers than the necromorphs.
Yeah.
Like, you feel like you do more with them, so... it's
yeah,
nice
it
that
it did seem a bit superfluous to the game.
it's nice that it is single player, because that's what it was designed to be.
Yeah.
And it's a well thought out story.
Very well thought out. Yeah.
There's quite a good twist at the end. There's some disappointing bits I didn't like were the asteroid shooting bit. That
was horrible.
pissed me off no end.
I haven't got that far, so
No, you will be angry with it for a while. Because if you do it first time, I applaud you.
I am on the easiest level because not only am I chicken, but I also don't like the games to be too hard because otherwise I don't get any enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
I played mine on medium.
And there's also another bit where
I'm
you
a
fight
wuss.
a boss with the same mechanic of shooting its weak spots with the same sort of cannon blaster. They were probably the weakest bits. They didn't.
Is that the one that was outside?
Yeah, it's on the ship.
Yeah, that was horrible. That
It's
was.
like,
Oh, the cannon's overheated. Oh, that one's gone out of its range. I can't hit that now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fuck off.
yeah.
I liked the Leviathan battle though. That was good.
Yeah, that was interesting.
If a little bit of a bastard at times,
Mm.
but it was still a very intriguing way of
Yeah.
using the stasis against it. And going, and firing its own weapons back at it. Have
In
that,
your face.
have that
Yeah.
in your pipe and smoke.
So yeah, I
it.
think for an individual ISP, it's a very good game.
And obviously it's got franchise potential because it didn't sell very well initially, did it?
I don't think.
Because I mean, I picked it up
I
like
saw it
10
on-
quid brand
yeah.
new.
I first bought it on the PC.
As you were playing it before we went to Legoland the first
Yeah.
time. I remember that.
And
I'm
it
shitting myself
ran
with it.
really well on my PC. I'll admit, I could crank everything up to
To the max!
to the max, and it didn't suffer, which is good.
Unlike me, I've just bought Dawn of War 2 and it went, no, that's not going to work. So, my laptop's only a couple of years old, but
Yeah.
that's enough for it to be sort of out of date and defunct.
Well, you
I
only
can
need
get enough graphics out of it, I just can't go all the way, but the next machine I build will be a super awesome games and editing machine.
Have an Alienware one.
Yeah, it's going to be like a mega awesome
Yeah.
console system.
But yeah, I mean, it is a very good game.
The one other thing I was going to mention was the downloadable content for it, which isn't actually necessary for the story. It's just
I
like
don't know what
different
you could actually get.
suits and
Oh.
weapons,
Don't
which
care.
you don't really need. Because I know for a fact that if you pre-ordered the game initially, you got it's like a red suit, I think it was.
Mm.
I may have got that completely wrong, but I'm sure there's like a scorpion suit that was like a red suit, and that was a pre-order exclusive, and then it's since become available for download as an extra. I don't see any point. I mean, they're not overpriced. It's you're paying like 80p or £1.60 or something. But I think as a downloadable content experiment, which is what the impression I got from it, it hasn't really worked. So it's
No,
not.
there is
It's
stuff-
nothing
yeah.
toward. It's just an aesthetic thing as opposed to essential to improving the gameplay.
It's-
It doesn't make any difference at all to
Yeah,
the
they've
way
done
the
that
game
with
plays.
Mass Effect 2. Buy some new weapons and some new armour.
No point.
Don't care for it.
One thing I will say about the Dead Space franchise as well is the animated films in between the two games were very good. Well,
Yeah.
the second one was
Alright.
not quite as good.
The first one
As-
was just blood.
The first
The
one.
first one was blood, but it had a fairly decent story.
I thought
alright.
the first one was brilliant. I thought, but the second one lacked a little bit. It's like the cell shaded CGI was a bit iffy in places.
Yeah.
Like that woman's hair's going through her shoulder blade. That's not right.
That's
Surely.
weird.
Yeah, but they were quite good. But apparently there is a live action film in the works. But EA have stated they are sticking very close to it and making
Well,
sure
yeah.
they don't bastardize it, and it will not
Like
be.
Uncharted.
Yes, which
From
is
what we've
is
heard.
going to be shit, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But apparently EA have stated themselves it will not be a cheap tie-in. It will be a good film, and they will make the creators of the game are working very closely with them,
Yeah.
as I think they did with the people who did the animated film. So that's a good thing. So we may get it, and it won't be based on the game. It will be in the universe of the
Yep.
game. So
Which is all good.
it'll be a very good film, hopefully.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Anything else you guys want to raise about it? Anything you've missed out or think we've missed?
Don't think so.
No, I think it's without spoiling stuff for you and the other people.
Yeah.
No.
I quite like some of the interactive bits as well, such as being grabbed by tentacles randomly,
Yes.
and you have to shoot the weak spot to stop being dragged. But the good thing is, if you don't do it in time, sometimes you think, "Oh, I've escaped it,"
Yeah. And you haven't.
and it just comes out and butt whips you.
Yeah.
It fucks you in half. It's brilliant.
I do.
The
one-
deaths are quite nice.
Yeah, I was going to say the bits where you do actually die, you just get completely ripped apart, don't you? It's,
Mashed to pieces. Like there's one on the review where I think I got torn in half.
Yeah.
Quite easily. It's like the deaths are brilliant. So it doesn't just go. He's fallen over with a lot of blood all around him, and game over. They actually put the effort in and went, yeah. Oh, his head's been lopped off, along with his legs, and his arms, and
Oh,
his
dear.
fingers. He's like, oh shit! There he goes.
so
But,
right. Okay then.
all
Well,
good.
thank you for listening. If you have been.
I apologise for my girlish giggling at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll have to do something about that. Take you out back and have you shot.
Yeah, took me around the back of the chemical sheds. In the
Yeah,
back of the head.
turn you into glue.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
thank you
don't
for
like your
listening.
Nazi overtones.
I'm sorry. I was thinking more of horses, to be honest.
Well, he wasn't. He was.
I was
chemical sheds.
being Nazi, but there
If
you
I
go.
want to do Nazis, then I'll take you round back and gas you.
Take me for
I'm not
a-
going to take you around back, shoot you, and then gas you. That's stupid.
Yeah,
That's a
or,
waste of a
or just
bullet.
say here, go for
That's
a
either a
quaint,
waste of a bullet or a waste of
yeah,
good gas.
or go for a shower.
Oh, did
Death.
Anyway, we're getting bogged down with the whole Nazi thing.
We
here.
are.
So yeah, if you want to drop us an email, send it to info@randomstoke.com without Ant burping at you. If you also would like to check out any of our other podcasts or any of the previous episodes, you can go to randomstoke.com and download them on the RSS feed that's on there, or you can go on iTunes and search for Random Stoke and all of our feeds will show up. Including some original scripted stuff, some movie chat, and blah blah blah, more game stuff. So yeah, check it out. Any questions? Send us an email, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So thank you for listening if you have been, and we'll see you next time.